if you are an OT, you definitely never forget your first quickie.
Cheeky.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Functional OT channel. Today I'm here with Amy from Sunrise and we are going to talk about the Quickie range. Did you know that there are 7 different power chairs? Hi Amy.
Hello.
Let's start with the Quickie 50R. Amy, would you mind to tell us more about the Quickie Q50R?
Sure. Q50 Carbon is our foldable, transportable outdoor power wheelchair. This is the chair that you want to trial if you need to go to shopping centers, you're taking a cruise, you want to fit it in the boot of the car when you're going out to dinner, when you're going to a doctor's appointment. It's not going to climb any mountains, it's not going to go through big mud puddles, but man, it will take you to the restaurants and the shopping centers, things like that they need to go.
I've heard that this is one of the lightest power chair available in the market. Is
Yeah,
that so?
you can see how beautiful it is, made out of carbon, and that allows us to have a weight of 14.5 kilos. So very, very lightweight and transportable, foldable, so it's easy to get in and out of the boot of the car. You'll see it's got a little release lever here, fold it down flat, I pick it up, and it even has a stand where it can sit in the corner safe.
Would you suggest this power chair too?
Somebody that's a part-time wheelchair user, they just can't go the distances that they used to or they want to go. Maybe they don't have the endurance to go, so maybe some of your pulmonary or respiratory, or just clients that are getting a little bit older.
Quickie Q100. Tell us more.
The Quickie Q100 rear-wheel drive power chair is a standard wheelchair to get you from point A to point B, very simply, very reliably, easy. Simple, has some growth built into the system so you can change sizes, drives very well.
Would you suggest this power chair too?
For that client that needs a little bit more grunt in their power chair, they're going to be indoors and maybe urban sort of distances outdoors. They want a reliable wheelchair that will get them where they need to go at sort of the less complex price tag that we'll see in other power chairs.
Now here we have the Quickie Q200. What are the main differences? Because they look almost the same.
Yeah, they do. The 100, like we talked about before, sort of a standard entry-level power wheelchair. The 200 is going to have sort of the same reliability, durability, but bigger wheels, bigger motors, bigger casters, a little bit more grunt to go bigger distances and more outdoor varied terrains. Same idea though, your standard rear-wheel drive chair, it's going to drive very simply for those clients that need a power wheelchair when they're out and about, but don't necessarily use it full-time every day.
What I really like about the 100 and 200 that they are off the shelf. So you can get it very quickly. About a week after the trial, the client can straight away get the power chair.
Even though they're sort of off the shelf, ready to go for you, you can still add whatever type of seat cushion or whatever type of backrest, headrest the client needs. So maybe their mobility needs are pretty simple, but they still have pressure care needs or some postural concerns.
Now that we have spoken about the off-the-shelf options, Amy, we have different power chairs, 300, 400, 500, 700. They are all custom power chairs, but what are the main differences? Why should I go for a 300 instead of 400 or vice versa?
When we get into the more complex configured power wheelchairs, I like to think about 3 separate components that I want to consider. One is the base, and that's going to be a lot about the environment. What distances do they need to travel? How fast do they want to go? What obstacles do they need to overcome? And remember, power chairs, they all are really adjustable in size. The seat frame will grow this way, it'll grow in depth. The second is what type of power seat functions do I want to add to the system? Do I want tilt? Do I need elevating leg rest? Do I want recline? Do I want lift? Do I maybe want stand? Those will also drive what type of base, because not all those different power seat functions can go on every base. Lastly is the input device or the electronics. Here I need to think about, can the client use a joystick today and forever? Or now might they need something a little bit special? They're going to drive with their head, they're going to drive with their chin, or they need special buttons to access everything that the power wheelchair can do, because that's going to need an advanced level of the electronics. So base, where, how far, power seat functions, and then the electronics. Simple joystick or more complicated.
It could be a bit confusing.
You're confused.
You're confused.
However, Amy, please, let's start from the base.
Yeah, we'll start with the bases. That'll be easier. And those go by numbers, so it's really easy to remember.
QUICKIE Q300. I can see that it's very different. So what are the main features of that?
This guy is the chair that will get in everywhere, anywhere through narrow spaces. It's 52 centimeters wide at the base. So if you've got an old house, you don't want to remodel, you need to get through narrow spaces, this is going to be the chair for you. You can see it's mid-wheel drive. Still has suspension so that it can handle ups and downs and some curved navigations, but this is really going to be the master of small indoor navigation spaces.
Would you suggest this one too?
I can be one of two people. I can be somebody with complex needs, that's going to be the seat frame on top of it, or my grandmother who just really needs power assistance for those distances that she can no longer traverse. Because it's got this little mini base, I'm going to use it for someone that maneuverability is most important, but I'm not expecting them to go outdoors for 10 kilometers, 15-kilometer walks.
So I'm understanding this base is one of the most economic option when we are talking about custom power chair. Is that right?
Yeah, but also small and maneuverable, but can go where you need it to go.
So good price and good features. Here we have the QUICKIE Q500. So you might think, what about the 400?
You tell me.
So Amy, why are we talking about the 500 now and not the 400?
Well, remember we said earlier, the bases and the seat frame and the electronics make the entire package. So in a mid-wheel drive with QUICKIE chairs, 400 and 500 are the same base, but what's on top of them is what's different. We have more complex seating, more power seat functions, and our expandable electronics, which means you can add switches and alternate controls on the 500. It's going to give you more power outside, more distance that you can travel, more terrain navigation when we compare it to the 300.
And what do you like about this chair?
This is a really nice, maybe starter chair or chair where somebody doesn't have a lot of power wheelchair experience. Super easy to drive. It's narrow enough that it gets indoors, outdoors, has grunt to take it to the places that people need to go. It's just simple and comfortable to drive. Has that adjustable seat frame, can put the different seating bits on there. Just a really nice, moderate level power wheelchair. Clients that are going to be using it indoors and what I call urban sort of outdoor areas.
Will you suggest this one too?
A lot of our neurologic clients or maybe our aged care clients, they're now using a power wheelchair full time. They need the extra distance. They need it to go up inclines, different terrains, but they need it to be simple, easy to manage, no fuss.
QUICKIE Q700. What's going on now?
Now when we get to the 700, this is going to be a client that's using the wheelchair everywhere for everything. You can now see I've got bigger tires, I've got really good suspension. This thing can go indoors, so I'm comfortable doing all my tasks, but then can go outdoors, go to the movies, go to the shops, do all the things that I need to do.
I will probably classify this one as the Super Saiyan of the power chair. Would you suggest this power chair too?
Full-time, everyday sort of client. They've got MS, they've had a spinal injury, muscular dystrophy, cerebral palsy. They're traveling all the different environments and they need their power chair to perform. When we start to get into the power seat functions, generally we'll add tilt, right? So people can relieve their own pressure individually. Seat elevate can also help us with access. Think about the power recline that's just going to open me up a little bit more. Power leg rest, allow me to stretch my legs, maybe help with some edema. And then lastly, that standing function.
Why do you think the standing is important for our client?
Well, we know a lot of things about how good standing is. First of all, we can have an interaction, right? Peer to peer, get my own coffee, all that sort of stuff, have eye-level sort of conversations. But then in terms of physiological functioning, we know it helps with bone density, we know it helps with circulation, we know it helps with skin integrity, helps with spasticity, all those things. Imagine if we sat down all day, every day, how good it would feel to stand up. And functional too, right? Improved reach. Can allow people access at a whole different sort of height, and also help with all the physiological functioning.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, don't forget to be kind and smile, and super important, we have to say arrivederci together.
Okay, sorry.
No. 3, 2, 1.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Thanks everybody. Thanks Gianluca.
Thank you, Amy.